The Elders Council of Newcastle asked our members what advice they would give to others based on their experiences of having personal and social care in their homes. This is what they told us.
I've been on my own since my sister died. She was the one who did everything, as I'm not very steady on my feet. My hearing has gone, and I have breathing difficulties. With hindsight, I wish I'd planned ahead. Now someone comes in 3 times a day to help me with my meals and medication.
I don't like getting older and not being able to do things for myself. I've always been someone living for today, not tomorrow. I find it difficult to manage now, so someone comes in to help me twice a day.
I'm getting on in years now, but I like to be organised and have plans in place so I'm not a burden to others when I need help. Since my throat operation, I have somebody coming in once a day to help me prepare my meals and make sure I eat them.
I'm retired now, but my mum, who has dementia, lives on the other side of town. It's been a struggle getting help to keep her independent in her own home. I don't know what she would have done without me to help her.
After a couple of falls, my GP told me I had to get some help in the home. It took me a while to accept this, but then I decided to find out as much as I could about what services I could get.
I live on my own since my husband died. I recently had a hip operation. When I left hospital, I got 6 weeks of help to get me back on my feet again. It made all the difference. This is what I would say to anybody in my shoes. I thought it would cost me money. I didn't think that the service would be free for the first 6 weeks.
I always thought that the services were free. I thought that as we'd paid taxes, etc., this would all be sorted out for us in later life. I always thought they'd come and look after us, but it's just 3 times a day. I wish I'd known how it worked and had earlier advice about what I could have.
Be ready for the potential cost and allocate a budget. Expect to pay between £15 and £20 an hour for home care.
Ensure all financial help is being received. For example, attendance allowance, pension credit, if eligible. And what about other benefits? For example, are they eligible for a blue badge to help with parking? And know about Astara, the Alarms and Response Service. It gives peace of mind and is practical.
Ask and keep asking. Be proactive. If family and friends don't push for help, no one else is likely to. Informal and formal advocacy are very important.
It's useful to have an advocate to speak up for you, as you need to be able to trust someone.
You need to think about who can advocate for you and discuss with them in advance what it is that you want.
Ask for information as soon as there's a problem, even if you don't need it straight away. Ask the right people, those who work in or with the social services.
There's lots of information out there, both on and off the web. Seek multiple sources of information so that you can get what's right for you.
Get advice. Find out the level of support you might get. So much information is online that it's difficult for people with disabilities and or limited vision.
I was told by my family that I should do something a couple of years ago, but I didn't think things would develop so quickly. You keep putting things off until you're forced to do it. So don't put it off. Be able to ask for what you want and stick to it.
Take everything available when you leave hospital. It's much easier to cancel care than to get support later.
I wish I'd known beforehand what was available. I just didn't think about it. But it happened and I needed help. There's a long assessment before I knew what would or wouldn't happen. Think about conversations you might have on planning for what the carer needs to do.
The level of pressure on local authority resources is high, and they ration help by being very slow to assess anyone. They need to be pushed to get assessment done.
Discuss and plan care needs early. It might be useful to make a checklist of things to ask prior to a request for help.
Well, I haven't done anything yet about making sure I'll be looked after properly if I can't make a decision myself. Well, I rely on my sister to do that, but she keeps telling me to put something in writing soon.
And be prepared for difficult conversations. For example, about whether you want a do not resuscitate notice in your file.
A power of attorney has been an excellent document, and everyone should be encouraged to make one.
With hindsight, we wish we could have found a housing unit within a development that would give us independence. We should have started the process earlier. So start looking early on.
When you're involved in the system, you're just grateful for support. However, I still have no idea who I'd contact to increase support. You end up confused about who's offering what and how they'll all fit together.
You have to practically beg for transport to medical checks, but don't be embarrassed. Mum's very independent and didn't want to need support.
There's a lack of communication between health and social care. Know the system.
Be clear about what you need and be firm. Be assertive. Don't say you'll manage. Say, I need help, would like help and want help. Don't be fobbed off by the professionals. If you're recommended to get help, make sure you get it. Find out what services are available.
I fully researched what was available and what I required to be fully armed when entering hospital, but it would have been hugely beneficial if the occupational therapist had been able to visit before I went into hospital to assess my home, my needs, and subsequent provision required.
Bringing in care staff from an agency is important, almost indispensable, to handle the morning routine and to enable Mum to remain longer in the home she knows and is comfortable with. But it has given the family peace of mind.
As far as possible, stay involved in groups such as the Elders Council or NHS groups.
Things change all the time. Services come and go. Services have been reduced. Be ready to be patient, but don't accept just anything.